Ishmael, you don't have to censor yourself even in this. Hey, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we started off Canto 3, as well as got our Hierarch Ishmael up to Uptie 3 and saw that story there. And I also did our first thread excavation. Line's moving quickly. We return about 10 minutes at most. All 13 of us need to answer immigration questions. We have to understand Manager Dante, so what should we do? Ishmael seemed to have a habit of speaking quickly and more inquisitive when she got anxious. I was just about to get to that. Listen up. The K-Corp official will only ask very simple questions to the passengers in this line, and your answers will be similarly concise. When the border that official asks you about the nature of your visit, say, I'm here for business on the behalf of Limbus Company. Please refer to my work visa. Remember this exact phrase so that you can recite it word for word. I'll take care of the rest, so you just have to prove that you aren't here to cause trouble. Even if memorizing that is too much of a burden for you, I suggest that you keep your mouth shut. You can present your employee card instead. Be quiet and don't cause trouble. Easiest tasks in the world. I stickly mumbled sarcastic remark. I was worried that Faust might rat me out, but thankfully, Virgilius was idly staring off into space, sparing me from his scathing commentary. Now, next up. If you have a question, make sure you first ask yourself if it's actually meaningful. Then quietly raise your hand. Several hands were lifted, including mine. Rojan. Since this trip is for business, we can carry our weapons, yeah? Correct. Next. Then Greg's creepy crawly arm and Dante's cheeky clockheads get into pass too? That should be the case. For reference, our manager's site comes a prosthetic rather than a weapon, which means to be approved even if what we had was a tourist visa, power to revive notwithstanding. Ishmael took the role of the model student and answered in Virgilius' stead. Feels like something changed about Ishmael's attitudes at the casino job. Seems to have decided to take matters into her own hands after I betrayed her expectations of my capabilities as a leader. Precisely. Virgo and I put our hands down at the same time. And Yoshu, put out your cigarette before you speak. I didn't raise my hand. Virgilius was doing his best to ignore Don Quixote's arm stretched skyward, but he finally caved and gave the woman with an adamantly raised hand the chance to speak. Fine, Don Quixote, what is it? For what purpose doth that barrier of glass serve? Following Don Quixote's finger, our attention was drawn to the glass wall stood in the middle of the building. On the other side of the clear dividing wall were countless people waiting in line. Line's slow to crawl. People are sat on the floor waiting for it to move. It's like they've been there for quite some time. There are many armed guards there as well, 3 times as many compared to this side. Most of the glass walls you find inside buildings are there for safety reasons. Simply put, that line's for backstreet folks. Each of us handles immigration differently, but whatever it may be, it's super duper hard to get into another nest without a proper visa. Why do you think those bullies jumped us on the way to the checkpoint? They want a visa so they can enter the nest? A problem we are not in our power to resolve. However, the answer didn't satisfy Don Quixote. Whether it was the fault of the gloomy yet oppressive atmosphere of the area beyond the wall, or the services happening in there, I couldn't say. Manager, it's our turn now. Right. I only moved at such a quick pace we barely had time to chat before it was our turn to answer the official's questions. Remember when you asked about the purpose of your visit? Remind me one more time and I'll show your sangria to you, and the official or whatever. Despite Ishmael's worries, our inspection was smooth sailing. Please state your affiliation and purpose of visit. I've come from Limbus Company on business. Here's my employee card. All checked out. Next. The Limbus Company. Business reasons. Take a look at the card. And all that. All checked out. Next. After our first dinner proved who we work for, it was a breeze for the rest of us. The official asked the same question in the same dry tone, took a cursory glance at our faces and employee cards, though based on their speed, it seemed like a customary gesture rather than an actual look over, then let each sinner pass. Something's amiss over there. The glass wall standing between us and them was thick enough to block out sound. It was hard for us to tell what was going on through the wall. However, I could see what was happening unambiguously. Someone with cuffed hands was being dragged away by security, and a small child was crying next to them, clearly scared and confused. We shouldn't bother. I don't know what happened, but I guess someone broke a taboo. Yeah, sure. Polish vandals and their audacity to break the taboo of not stuffing enough cash in the right people's pockets, am I right? Are you mocking me right now? Huh? Well, I thought you didn't care. I guess someone's knickers are in a twist. While I was distracted by Heathcliff loudly celebrating his first successful tease on Ishmael, our usual suspect sprang forth at her least expected moment yet again. Please state your affiliation and purpose of visit. I have come to liberate the weak and powerless! An emotion is expressed for the first time on the checkpoint official's face. Flabbergastation. They looked up at Don Quixote with the face screaming that it was flabbergasted. Release them at once! Can you not see that they are suffering? Please state your affiliation and purpose of visit. The official ignored her demand and parroted the same question, all the while Don Quixote was getting more upset by the minute. And then, in looking through the transparent wall again, I saw the desperate child mouth a scream at the man dragged away in handcuffs. Daddy! If you are willing to take action, then I shall myself! Code purple, violation taboo K8185 on site. Requesting thrombocyte units. Beat requesting thrombocyte. Veering away from inquiry like a broken record, the official spoke in an intimidating immune response through the radio. Attention all personnel, code purple, circulation hall 2, inspection booth 14, thrombocyte, leukocyte. Blaring sirens accompanied the perplexing announcement, all the while thick metal gates shut around us. Should have smashed her skull and carried it in a body sack. I doubt that would have made much of a difference. Thrombo, leuko. I believe they refer to platelets and white blood cells, respectively. It must be them. Fitting for K-Corp, I'd say. Looking in the direction Faust indicated, we all saw what she meant. Security forces wearing menacing uniforms were staring at us. Ah, Don. Oh, you wacky Don. Just what a silly little goober. Taboo. Jesus Christ, level 20. Okay. We'll still try. I've gotten used to this sort of situation, but it looks pretty serious. Indeed. You're vital taboo of the wing, after all. It's not like anyone was hurt. Can we just talk this through? Faust looked straight into my face. For Faust to face someone directly, when she usually stares into empty space as she speaks, can only indicate one thing. I must have said something incredibly frustrating. No matter the wing, infringement of taboo means. A loud explosion left Don Quixote dismembered where she stood. That lethal measures can be taken against the violator without warning. It looks like border control isn't willing to forgive us until they dismember the rest of the sinners. Armed security staff is surrounding us on all sides. You never cease to surprise me. You managed to wring out the last drop of expectation I had left for you. I'm keeping up. Pin the whole thing on her, take responsibility or whatever. I thought you accompanied us to handle situations that our manager can't alone. I came with you to take care of the inevitable problems, not of pissing such in the wind. Vigilus casually pushed his way through the line of armed guards and leaned against a wall. He then crossed his arms as if to further drive home that he'll remain a spectator. Luckily, we could still have Don canonically be dead because we don't have a Don. Okay. Yeah, we still can, but not at the best rate. I probably could Dullahan. I think Dullahan would be a little bit more important. I guess I can bring this up. Jesus Christ. He flipped heads on, like, what, 4 in a row or something like that? For, 50% chances. But, I don't know this for certain, but it really feels like they wrote out the first 5 cantos. Like, they had all that, like, fully planned out, in terms of, like, character beats as well. Obviously not the exact dialogue. Up until, like, they had all those figured out for a while, but... And that's mainly because of the comment that Dante made on Ishmael. It might have been last time, might have been earlier this episode, but Ishmael's whole reaction post-casino, like, it feels very, like, deliberate and in character. I mean, obviously it's in character, but it feels very deliberate to have her act that way, and to point out that she's acting in such a way. Obviously, the characters still do remain, you know, true to themselves. Like, there's no point where the characters feel flanderized or anything of the sort. But, like, it definitely feels like there was a point where, like, I don't doubt that they have everything, you know, planned out in terms of, like, I believe Faust's is set to be the last canto, or last canto that we know of, at least, for certain. Unless Dante and Virgilius might have had cantos confirmed, I'm not sure. But in terms of the Sinners, Faust is the last one. But I'm sure that Project Moon already has in mind, you know, what everything with that is. You know, what Faust's whole deal is, for lack of better phrasing. But in terms of, like, the specific character beats, not, like, they're still figuring all that out on occasion. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you can tell that we're starting to get a little bit low on level. We can still manage, but yeah, you can really tell that our level is starting to drag behind. Really just gonna watch from there? You won't sway me with that look, manager. I'm nothing more than a guide that none pay heed to. It would be impertinent of me to brandish my weapon. With the metal one final time, K-Corp's singularity takes the form of healing bullets that restore most wounds in the blink of an eye. I suppose it could be compared to the ability of yours. Hey, wait! Completely ignoring my feeble plea, now that they could hear it, K-Corp's security guards closed in on us. I think actually I'm going to do my leveling up right now. Thank you, Wild Hunt. Sure, let's toss everyone one of each of those tickets. Alright, did Yisong. Gets Wild Hunt in. Go Hierarch. Get Fishmail in. Over to Skincare. Get his in. And finally to Hongul. There we go. Alright, yeah, that's everyone I use. I'll wait for the next banner to do a pull. Anyways, since we're, well, we'll be better off at least, but since we're at a since we're at a higher level, there we go, that's what I was looking for. This should be fairly easy, so I'm just gonna skip ahead. I don't know if we've seen Delahan in battle yet. It's a very nice puppy, and to that extent, I don't think we've seen Lament, Mourn, and Despair yet. I think we also missed an attack because we didn't get to see the full animation. Yeah, negative coin skills are pretty niche in terms of their use. Obviously, it does really help out. They get better at clashing the later on you go, just because there's less chances for them to lose coins. When we get to the annoyance of having to deal with Paralyze, does a very good job at ignoring Paralyze, or actually benefiting from Paralyze if nothing else. Because again, high damage, or, you know, since rolling heads hurts you, if heads roll being nothing is just good. But there's only like 5 IDs that give any negative coins. Period. Just a moment. No, never mind. I'm actually gonna end things off here a little bit quick on this episode. I'm still getting the swing of recording, so talking for so long after not being used to talking so long, yeah, it's getting to me. Next time, we will continue on with Kanto 3, but until then, see you guys later.